This has Bulls fans very concerned about the future of the team and the point of direction the team is headed. Hi, I am Shaq Barnes here with another episode of Bulls Digest, the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls. Also, I noticed that 6-7% of you guys have been watching the channel and have not subscribed yet. Treat it like the Bulls intro and run through that subscribe button because we got a lot to talk about here. Let's get into it right off the bat, right? And I'm gonna be honest. I re-recorded this video like 2 or 3 times because it started from this statement, but the more and more information that has been coming out about this team, I had to add more to the video. But it starts here. Rock with me because we gonna have a lot to talk about, and I feel like it's a lot of things to be concerned about. That if we can trust this front office to actually do the job that we need done to put this team in the right direction. But Arturas Karnisovas asked fans for patience as the Bulls enter the 2025 offseason with decisions, upcoming. I'm asking fans for patience because we are in the first year of transition. I thought the way we finished this year, the year, shows promise. To finish 15-5 is not a victory lap, but there are positives. And we have to keep building on this group by adding players in the lottery, going into the free agency, and adding other pieces. AK, first of all, first sentence alone, first year, AK, you've been here for 5 years. So for us as a fans, since you finally decide to go in a direction of what we've been asking you to do, like pick one. Are we gonna try to go all in to be competitive, or should we just rebuild with some young pieces? We've been asking you this. So we supposed to just forget the last 5 years of what just happened with this team because you finally decided to go in a direction. No, the 5 years happened. I watched the team with Zach, DeMar DeRozan, Vooch fail. We sat here and watched DeMar DeRozan stay on the team when his value was the highest it's ever been, and you could have actually traded him knowing that him and Zach Lavine does not fit together. Did you do that? No, we was here when Patrick Williams did not look like the money that you signed him for worth, and we begged you to let him hit the market because you probably get a better price for him. But did you do that? No, you did not. We was here when Zach Lavine needed that max contract, and you paid Zach Lavine this max contract, and you traded him instead of just building a roster behind him. How you just want us to forget all that? No, we're not. We're not going to forget this. We're not going to forget that this happened these last 5 years. What, like, for you to just say that is disrespectful to us from the fans who pay tickets to go see this team, even when we back, when we still at the top of the attendance, or it's bad for the fans who sit here and watch support this team every day. For you to ask for patience, no, you should be on the hot seat. Billy Donovan should be on the hot seat. And you can't ask us for patience because we gave you 5 years to figure something out with the team. And every time we asked you, hey, this is not working, should you guys do this? You guys did not do it. So no, you're not getting no patience. And it gets worse, guys. It gets worse. So let's put this in perspective real quick, right? Billy Donovan is now the 5th longest tenured coach in the NBA. Arturas is now the 15th longest tenured lead executive in the NBA. In terms of front office coach pairing, Billy Donovan and AK are 4th longest tenure behind Popovich, R.C. Buford, Riley Spoelstra, Tibbs, and Rose. I'm going to show you the difference between the Chicago Bulls front office and with the coach to compare to other teams. Popovich already got a history, legacy coach, greatest coach of all time. But you know what's good about the Spurs? They got a generational talent. They got a generational talent because they figured a direction. The team can't do nothing. So let's go get this generational talent in Wembanyama. Let's go to Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley. Heat culture. In the last recent years, they made multiple finals appearances. They literally just traded that guy this year because he was a disgruntled star of the team. So now they finna go in a different direction now. But they got years of championship experience not too long ago in this generation, not in the 90s, in the 2000s. And then also they had multiple finals appearances just a couple years ago. They're good. They was competitive. Let's go to Tibbs and Rose. They are literally a team in the playoffs and added multiple stars in Cat, Brunson, Bridges, Hart. Build the great team around 8 stars. That is the difference. A direction was needed, and it got done. It got done, and that's the problem that I have. Now, it said it gets even deeper because the problem that we should be concerned with is that why are these guys not on the hot seat? Why is that not even a question of concern? So it says when the Bulls front office leader Arturas Karnisovas arrived at his end of the season press conference, his chair might as well as been a ice sculpture. Despite losing 3 consecutive play-in tournament appearances and recording only a singular playoff victory over his 5 seasons at helm, the VIP of Bulls operation is seemingly nowhere near the hot seat. The same can be said for team coach Billy Donovan. While it may be more justifiable, Donovan's job security has proven shockingly stable for someone who holds a 195 and 205 record over 5 seasons. Tell me, how does that sound to you guys? I just seen coaches who won a championship 2 years later got fired. Got fired. Yes, it's not a stable thing to keep consistently firing coaches like the Phoenix Suns. I agree with before anybody say it, right, type it in the comment section and say you want to just fire every coach. No, I'm not saying that. But if you got a 5-year sample size of what this front office has done, you got a 5-year sample size of Billy Donovan, even though he's going to the Hall of Fame this year, it might be time to make a change, or at least put them on a hot seat. Hey, we need something done, because when things like this happen, it brings back the conspiracy theory that Jerry Reinsdorf wants to go 41 and 41 every year because he wants game 82 to matter so he can get an extra payday, or he can charge the Bulls fans extra at the end of the season. Things like this will feed to those type of conspiracy theories that we deal with as Chicago Bulls fans. Because I don't understand, why would you have to do that? In the Bulls, Chicago Bulls fan base, we're top in attendance every year, even when we mediocre. And the one time we stopped being top of attendance, that's when you made the changes. That was the year we made the All-Star break. That's when we forced you to make changes. If we have to do that again, we might have to get what we want with this Chicago Bulls team. Now, it gets even worse, guys, because when you got a guy here, you ask, hey, what's the status of the team? What's the timeline? They say they were, if not the precise questions, the concepts and concern facing the Bulls executive of basketball, Arturas Karnisovas, on Thursday, when he made his annual, if premature given the recent events addressing about the future of the franchise. Somebody asked, the state of the Bulls is what? On the right path, Karnisovas said. I cannot define the actual timeline. He said during a 20-minute session with reporters at the team's Advocate Center. But what we have to do is build on the positives of this year and this young group and look for ways to improve and come back with a little bit higher expectations. The way we want to build it is with young players with experience. This group knows expectations are going to be at a high level next year, and they are going to be ready for it. The goal is to have a faster turnaround, but there is a lot of there is a lot to like of this young roster. Sorry about that, excuse me. They'll show it in the second half of the season, and we're going to try to add pieces and get better for next year. See, I'm sorry I stumbled a little bit because I'm trying not to get angry. I'm trying to be nice. But this is wrong, because I feel like, what pieces are you planning to add? What is the game plan? You're not giving me things that you say that we need to, like, where are we adding on? What was the positives of this young core? Oh, we had a lot of threes. Our paint defense was a problem. We're gonna add to that. Or maybe we need a dominant force in the paint to add to the team to make a difference. That's what I want to hear. Like, oh, the positives was this, and that. So we probably gonna add this type of caliber player. Okay, we need to address this. Because another thing that's popped up on the feed was that the Bulls want to stay competitive. The Bulls want to stay competitive. Casey Johnson said on the Seagull Network, they want to focus on internal improvements, and they are not interested in tanking next season either. By all accounts, the 2026 draft could possibly be stronger than the 2025 draft. Fans have been calling for a fledged full tank and a rebuild for a few seasons, but it looked like the Bulls have other plans. Chicago has the 12th best odds to land the number one pick in this draft. When I look at this, right? You tell me we want to add young players with experience. What young players with experience can you really get that teams are willing to give up? Josh Giddey, we luckily got him because he was in a bad situation when it comes to the OKC Thunder, and he just didn't fit the roster. A lot of teams are not giving up young players who got experience. So the next best thing is to build through the draft. You might have to add a guy to the draft. A guy could come into the draft. You could get a guy who's been in college for a long time. And you say you want to stay competitive. What does that mean? Being in the play-in is not competitive. You have to be a legit contending team. And if you want to be a young contending team is a team that looks great, and you can be like, oh yeah, man, one more piece or two, they could be a championship contending team. Look at the OKC. Look at the Celtics. Look at the Cavs. You got to take the blueprint for teams like that. Look at the Rockets. Now the Rockets look like, hey, we just add one more star who can close games out. We could really be good. Things like that. But the Bulls have announced they already got 3 players on the trade block, right? And the three players on the trade blocks is Vooch, Herter, Collins are already on the trade block for the Bulls, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you. You know why all 3 of these players on the trade block? It's not because people might want these guys and I can trade them to this team to add the piece of team. No, they're all on expiring contracts. So it don't even sound like a game plan to me. It sounds like we just being cheap. And I'm just being honest about the situation. Vooch makes sense. He don't fit the timeline of the team. He's older. He wants to win. Let's try to revisit the Vooch trade, which we failed on. Let's revisit the Vooch trade and see can we get anything for him. Next, we go to Kevin Huerter. I think Kevin Huerter actually fit the Bulls timeline and fit the player build that we need. Why wouldn't we bring him back? He's a shooter. He's young. He fits in what we want to do, get up and down the floor and knock down threes. Zach Collins, that's cool. You want to trade him, that's fine. Maybe we can replace him for another big, maybe a better paint defender. Hey, let me know what you guys think. This has been another great episode of Bulls Digest, the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls. Sorry I had to rant on this episode. I'm very concerned. You guys should be too. Comment down below a level of 1 through 10. How concerned are you with Arturas Karnisovas' ability to actually get the Bulls out of mediocrity? It's been another episode of Bulls Digest with SB Talk Sports, a.k.a. Shaq Barnes, and I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Peace.